it's Phoebe Dobbs.
Hey, we're the Plain White Tees.
Hey, it's Ariana.
My name is Andrew. I play with Combat Kid.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and Spencer, this is the Hidden Beats podcast.
Start. Loud.
Oh, loud?
Yeah. There you go.
I'm so awkward. I'm never, like, in front of the fucking camera.
That's okay.
This is weird. My niece is gonna laugh at me, I'm sure.
Hi guys, welcome to the fourth episode of the Hidden Beats podcast, even though Tom doesn't want us to call it a podcast. Today I have a new guest, because again, the boys did not want to come do this podcast with me, but that's fine, because we have someone better.
Oh, thank you. I'm Allie, or Alexandra. I'm gonna say a lot, I think.
Ali is another Hidden Beats shooter, right now based out of Seattle, but is originally from Montreal, or the Montreal greater area. So what?
We're like both because we're usually like behind the camera, and now we're in front of the camera, and it's just so weird.
So, what gear do you use?
Gear. Okay.
Yeah, let's go with gear.
Gear. Let's start with that. I had to think about. I actually had to look at my gear before coming here. I was like, what do I have? I have right now the Canon R6, and the lens I use the most is the 24-70. I have a Sigma at the moment, and then for Valentine's Day, my husband got me my first 7200 Canon 7200 2.8.
Oh, you were saying online.
Yes, when I sent that link, he got it. So it was my Valentine's Day gift. So I've never owned one. I've always rented one or borrowed one, and now I have my very own. Because this year, Hidden Beats has a lot going on, and so I've requested a lot of arena shows, and I thought it was time to get one. So those are my two lenses.
They're good lenses.
They're good lenses.
Yeah.
Very good. I was Sony before Canon. The Canon I have now. I do love Sony. It's a good camera for video. The A7 III.
I find it's just confusing. I've had them in my hands before, and like I feel like it takes a bit of getting used to, especially switching from Canon.
Yes.
But
that was exactly my issue. When I went to college for photography, I had Canon, and then a couple of years ago, before COVID, I was shooting music videos for my husband's band, and I got the Sony, shot a lot of music videos with that. I had like a 20mm lens, loved it, gorgeous. And then I just couldn't get used to it, so I went back to Canon, and I actually regret it. But I'm not going to sell my gear again and go back to Sony again.
I've heard good things for video specifically about Sony.
Yeah.
Because I think that's like, it's not the industry standard, but like a lot of videographers use Sony specifically for the video concepts.
Yeah, it looked like butter. It looked aesthetically pleasing. I don't know, there was something about it that I can't get with Canon, so that's just me. I know there's going to be a whole battle about Nikon, Canon, Fujifilm, all of this, but it's just my opinion. That's it.
I originally started with Canon. I actually started on Canon film during the COVID, like the beginning of the pandemic, because I was just living on a beach with like 40 other humans from around the world, and our work just got shut down. So I used my first Daddy Trudeau money to buy a Canon AE1.
Daddy Trudeau money. That was the time when I really was pissed not being in Canada. I was like,
Americans never got anything?
We got 2 stimulus checks, and I had to pay them back. So, yeah, I was cursing at home, being like, where's my $2,000 a month? It really sucked. It really sucked. Well, I worked for a job that I got my full paycheck, so again, I'm pretty lucky. But
I don't think I ever had to pay back the COVID money in Canada, but I know a lot of people that did. And I'm gonna be honest, I think I took at least 1 or 2 that I wasn't supposed to.
Okay.
But
I love how we're going off track with we're going from like gear to like
it's fine.
Canadians, and that's great.
We need to fill an hour.
Yeah, I know. I could talk forever. I have ADHD. It's gonna go like up and down, up and down. Anyways, keep going.
That's okay. So you use Canon.
Yep.
And used to use Sony.
Yes.
Do you use you said an R6.
R6.
You have, right?
Yeah, R6. When I was shopping for a camera, it's so hard now. I find shopping for a camera, like when I was in college, I knew right away I wanted my 5D Mark II because it was like top of the line. I was like, yeah, that's what I'm going to get. But when I was switching from Sony going back to Canon, there was all these different models, and there's the R5, right? And I was like, what's the difference? I'm only doing concerts. I don't do weddings no more. I don't do portraits. I just strictly do concerts, because when you've been shooting for as long as I have, you pick your battles. And I got the R6, and I don't know, it's for people who have the R6, if you love it, you love it. But maybe it's just because I have my Sigma lens and I don't have my Canon lens anymore. I'm just in that battle with it. So maybe I don't have my Canon glass, and I know it's not about the gear, but when you've had good gear, and I don't know, I felt like I downgraded. So
that's fair. That's fair.
It again could just be me.
When I moved to this camera, it's my first mirrorless camera, and I traded 260 Mark IIs for it, and it kind of feels like I never upgraded, but at the same time I didn't downgrade. That's the kind of where I'm at with this camera. It's got like face tracking and stuff, which I really appreciate.
Yeah.
But I've actually only started just using it recently, because I just didn't trust it enough, and like I didn't want to have to push down the button 4 times to get the right focus.
I'm so used to that I'm just like, I'll be shooting a concert and I'm just like doing the focus. And I don't know how people shoot manually for concerts. I'm like, that's a skill.
If you're good at knowing exactly like the sides to go to, and you have focus peaking, then I don't think it's that bad. But like like focus peaking, like you need it unless you have like sharp vision.
Yeah, which I do not.
I do not either.
Don't laugh at me. She knows that I'm blind as a bat. So
I just got glasses for the first time in years, like a couple months ago in the fall or something, and it's like life changing. Like if I take them off and I close this eye, I can't. My camera's super blurry.
Oh,
like,
your right eye is pretty.
Yeah, but like this eye, like it's bad, but like I can still see.
Camera 1, camera 2.
Yeah.
Camera 1, camera 2. Anybody gets that reference? We're old. Do you?
Why would I know?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm in my 20s.
Wayne's World. Did you got that?
I've seen Wayne's World, but like it's not like.
Oh, I feel old. Okay, carry on. We will fill an hour. I promise you that.
Even if it's just banter back and forth.
Yeah, that's what it's going to be.
So you've been a tour photographer, correct?
Okay, so I've been a concert photographer for probably my whole life, since high school. Touring, not so much. I get the opportunity to tour because of my husband. He has been in multiple bands. So To the Wind, one of them, No Bragging Rights, and Great American Ghost. And when No Bragging Rights toured, I got to do some shows with them. And then when Great American Ghost toured in Canada, I tagged along because they went to Quebec. And I'm like, oh, well, someone to speak French might be beneficial. And so just got some experience with that. I would love to go on tour. Has the opportunity like happen outside of touring with my husband? No, not so much. But I do have a comfy home too, so I don't know if touring for a long period of time would be my thing. But I like a 2-week run, 2-3 week run. But I do have the experience doing merch, and shooting shows. But I haven't gone for a long period of time. But
that's fair.
Yeah, I'm lucky that I have the opportunities. I have a lot of contacts. I have my husband as well, so that's where I'm very lucky to do that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's like a dream of mine. I've had it I have it on my Instagram bio saying
like tour.
But it actually got brought up in an interview that I recently had, and they were like, so you have like, you're available for tour, and I was like, it's just kind of a dream.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like everyone puts it there, but like,
Yeah,
four people get picked.
It was a dream of mine as well until I toured with my husband for, we did maybe 4 or 5 days with a band called Trove, and I had to watch my husband pee in a water bottle for the first time, and I was like, wow, our relationship just went up a notch, and then I was like, I don't know if I could.
Is this after marriage or pre-marriage?
No, pre-marriage. No, we've been married for 8 years now.
Okay,
so yeah, it was. This was pre-COVID or after COVID, something like that. But we were in a van for a couple of days, and it was. Yep, I just remember my husband being like, "Babe, look the other way," and I didn't even know where to look, and I was like, I know this is a normal thing, but I never thought I would have to watch my husband do this, and I was like, okay, well, never again. I'm never doing this. But then I did go again with no bragging rights. So yeah, that was an experience and a half. That was fun. Being a Canadian as well, seeing states that I've never seen before. If I'm correct, it was in 2021 with no bragging rights. We went to Arizona. And I've never been there, and I woke up and seeing the desert for the first time was cool.
That's sick.
The heat was another thing. I went to Texas as well. They played a show there. It was pretty cool. Pretty cool.
One thing I want to do is definitely tour the States, like not necessarily with a band, but I want to like live in a van and drive across the States.
Yeah.
And I don't know, end up in California and maybe never leave, but
yeah, the fun. I know a lot of people are like, touring a van's not fun, blah blah blah, but there's an experience with touring in a van, and the van that we were in was such a shit box, but so great. And there was a bed on top, and I remember just sleeping on that mattress, and there was a thunderstorm. I think we were going through Texas. And just the rain on the van and the rocking of the van up there, like, I slept like a baby. It was just great. My husband's just driving through the storm. We had to stop at, like, a truck stop because he was just seeing the lightning fall beside him, crash beside him. And he's like, yeah, I think for safety, I'm just going to park the car. But I was dead asleep. I loved it. I kind of love sleeping, and the van's gone, but that was a nice experience.
That's sick.
Yeah.
My friend bought a van a couple of years ago, or a few years ago now. This is pre-COVID, and it was a 91 Chevy Astro, and we all decided to move to Jasper, Alberta from Tofino, and what should have been a 16-hour drive, including like a 2-hour ferry ride, turned into 26 hours because of this storm. Like, I don't know if you know what the Coquihalla Highway is.
Not at all.
It's like the highway that goes out of Vancouver to Kamloops.
Okay.
And it's one of the worst highways in Canada. They won't let you on unless you have chains on at least in your vehicle.
Snow?
Yeah. And I was half asleep. My friends behind me were half asleep, and my ex-girlfriend was driving, and she, I was like in the passenger seat, like kind of like half asleep, half awake, and I knew that I had to go towards Hope, BC to get to Jasper. I didn't realize that there was 2 ways to get to Hope, BC. There was a 6-lane highway, which is the Coquihalla, and then there's a 2-way highway that adds 2-3 hours onto your drive and goes through the mountains where the snow's even worse. And she went the smaller highway because I just said to go towards Hope. Okay. Yeah.
Your fault.
Yeah, 100%. And so we wake up and we're suddenly like going through these like tunnels that go through mountains, and we're like, crap. And I see him, we're like, should be here on the map, but we're here on the map. And after 26 hours, we finally pulled up to Jasper, and it was it was the worst 26 hours of my life, I think.
But his experience.
Yeah, exactly. And like we hooked up an N64.
Oh, nice.
Or was it an N64, an Xbox or something, and we were playing video games the whole way because we like put a jack into the smoke, like the lighter thing, and then we just plugged in a TV and an extension cord, and it was great.
Do cars still have that?
They have it for like electronics. They don't have it for lighting darts anymore.
That's where my brain went. I'm
Yeah.
so sorry. Yeah. This is going great.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
We're about.
I think so.
We're
okay.
we're about a quarter way through. We're about a quarter way through the 1 hour.
Just the struggle of parking here was enough to keep me here for an hour.
Give me your opinion on Tom Mount Pleasant.
I mean, I only know him through the internet, so he's great. He's funny. He knows how to push my buttons and light a fire under my ass to get me going to shoot shows. It's kind of funny because I'm probably the quietest person in the group.
I think that's just because you're busy, though.
That could be that could be it. I probably shoot the least shows, and then I'll like pop up and be like, I'm doing this. And so, he'll message me separately sometimes being like, hey, you gotta do something? And I'm like, yeah, I guess I could. So he keeps me motivated, keeps me on track, on top of things.
Mm-hmm.
And I hate writing. I can't write.
I'm terrible at writing.
And so I think what takes me so long is that I can't write a review because when I shoot a show, I black out. And I'm sure a lot of other concert photographers can relate to me, but when you're in the pit, you're in your zone, you just don't really know what's going on. And I know, like, afterwards you could be in the crowd and write notes, but sometimes I leave because I'm an early bird and I like to go to bed, or I have to drive to go home.
I 100% do
Yeah.
that every concert.
And
especially
so-
if I don't like, or like, not
Not
like
that
the
you don't
band,
like.
but they're just not into, like,
Into
the concert,
yeah.
you know?
And so I'll write like a review and he's like, you gotta fluff it up more. I'm like, damn it. And then he'll do it. He'll help me out,
Mm-hmm.
and which I really appreciate. And I have nothing bad to say. Not that there would be anything bad to say,
Yeah.
but I've just been having a fun time with Hidden Beats. So we're so huge now.
Yeah.
We're such a bigger team, and I feel like when I started, we weren't as much, and I started because of Ryan Stacy.
It's kind of why,
Shout out.
between Ryan and Alicia, that's why I started as well.
Yeah, and so they keep me on track because as you could already tell with this interview, I am all over the place. So it's nice to have someone who keeps me on the right path.
Yeah,
to go.
he has
Structure?
structure. Yeah, yeah. He helps me.
I do not.
My writing skills absolutely suck.
Mhm.
I get assisted sometimes from online helpers.
AKA
But-
Siri.
I was gonna say ChatGPT.
I have an iPhone 16, so yes.
Yeah.
Siri.
Yeah,
Apple plug.
You work for Apple.
I work for Apple.
Yeah,
I've
okay.
worked for Apple for 10 years, so yeah, it's really been helping me.
I just switched completely to Apple this time last year.
Welcome to the dark side.
Yeah, but like this new job that I'm getting, or hopefully getting, it is this time last year I switched to DaVinci for video, and I switched to completely Mac. And for this job, they're giving me a PC, and I have to work on Premiere.
I mean, no diss. Like, it's just because I've been with Apple for 10 years, but I know a lot of people who love Adobe Premiere better than Final Cut. In school, I went to Dawson College here in Montreal. We learned on Adobe, and I liked it. And it's just, I get good prices on things, and so I'm just all Mac and use all Mac software. And yeah, I'd rather, again, I'm all over the place, so learning video and learning Final Cut is always a challenge for me, but I'm happy I work with a whole bunch of creatives at Apple that I could just ask them questions when I need it. So
That's sick.
pretty cool. There's all sorts of musicians and photographers and videographers that work at Apple, so it's pretty cool. Yeah. Yesterday I went to a movie with my old Apple crew from Montreal, so that was fun. We all worked at Fairview Point Claire, and we went to go see the new Captain America together, so
That's sick.
That
I didn't
was
even
cool.
know there was a new Captain America.
Yeah, you're not missing much.
Oh, no. Didn't the original guy, I can't remember his name, Chris
Evans?
Yeah.
Steve Rogers?
He's gone now, right? Didn't he like not want to do the character anymore?
How long have you not watched Marvel?
A really long time.
Yeah, you missed a lot.
Oh, he's been gone a while.
Yeah, and there was a whole like Bucky, Winter Soldier, and
I've heard of the Winter
and
Soldier,
the Falcon season.
but
What's the word I'm looking for? Show series.
the last like Marvel movie I really paid attention to.
It's probably Endgame. If you said that
yeah.
Steve Rogers is leaving.
Yeah. Like I saw the newest Spider-Man. The Spider-Man ones I like. They're really they're good.
That's good. You just missed a lot.
But I also wanted to see like all the old Spider-Men come back. Like the
So you
new
saw that one.
Yeah, I saw that.
Spoiler alert, but
It's okay. You should have seen the movie by now.
Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield.
Yeah.
Them.
I think apparently they're supposed to be coming back in the next ones too, because it's the whole multiverse situation.
The whole multiverse stuff is so confusing now. Anyways, I love Marvel. My dog is named Bucky, so I'm a huge Marvel fan. But what'd you say?
So I'm on Reddit looking at Captain America reviews and for the next Avengers.
Thunderbolts?
No, Avengers.
Oh, okay.
Secret Wars.
Okay.
So my next question is, how is the U.S. photography scene like in the pit? How do you find it?
I love how everybody asks me about like Canada, U.S.
You're a Canadian living in the U.S.
I know.
Get used to it.
I know. So I am blessed to have experienced the Montreal music scene. I don't think there's anything like it.
I agree. I agree.
I honestly, even just going to Ottawa, sorry, Tom, the Montreal passion is something that's very unique. And when I started photography or concert photography, in order to get photos, I had to sneak my camera in. Like, that's how I started, and to build my portfolio. And when I left here, we were only a handful of photographers. Now it's, everybody's a photographer, everybody has a camera, and when I shoot in the US, we're like 15 photographers in the pit. It's and it sucks to say, but I don't really have that drive or passion anymore to really shoot shows, because I know I'm just gonna be like one out of 15 people, and sometimes you compare it's part of the game. You compare yourself and you're like, oh, well, I'm just not like good enough or whatnot. And I shoot a lot of shows now that I want to shoot. So if there's a show I want to go to, I'll request a media pass and I'll go to it, because I want to be there. If there is a show that I'm like asked to be, I'm like, well, there's gonna be other people there anyway.
Yeah.
So why spend the gas? Why go? I feel though that is everywhere now. Though I'm saying though a lot.
It's okay though.
Not used to being in front of a camera. If I came back to Montreal, it might be the same thing, where there's more photographers. The main difference though between Canada and the U.S. I find is just the crowds. I find, I don't want to get in trouble for this, but I look in the crowds in where I am from, and it's just standing. A lot of people talking.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's back here as well now, but when I remember going to shows here, everybody was really invested in the music, and it could be the venues I'm going to in Seattle and Tacoma. When I went to go see City and Color, my favorite band ever, I couldn't even enjoy the show because all the people around me were talking and I couldn't even hear the music
Yeah.
going on. When I shoot the show, I'm in front first 3 songs, but then I'll go in the back and I'll enjoy the concert.
Yeah.
But I haven't been able to do that in a while.
I find especially with the cell phone.
I got over that.
Yeah?
I got over it. I was that person at first where, like, if you came to a show with me, you can't really take your phone out because I just don't want to be distracting. But that it's the world we live in. I work at Apple. Everybody has their phones, and
That's
so
valid.
I kind of I got over that. The venues as well, the sound in Montreal, I got so spoiled that when I moved to Seattle and Tacoma, I just don't like how they sound. I'm gonna get shat on for this, I'm sure, but
It's okay.
I'm comparing, but I was very spoiled. I was very blessed to have such good venues around here, like MTELUS, which used to be Metropolis, one of my favorite venues. And tomorrow we're at Olympia.
Club Soda.
Club Soda.
I think so.
Real?
Yeah, I think it's Club Soda.
Is it? Double check.
I thought it was Club Soda.
I think it's Olympia.
Really? Oh, I was kind of stoked to see
I
them.
think you're wrong.
Oh, I was kind of stoked to see them at
Confirmed by
Club
Mia.
Soda because it's
I
like
haven't been to Club Soda. In
I shot there for the first time last month.
Confirm. We're on a
Am
time-
I right?
We're on a time limit, Mia.
I'm trying.
Okay.
Olympia. Silverstein.
I'm glad I didn't go to the wrong venue.
Live win. So, Olympia. I haven't been.
It's kind of good because the pit there is huge.
Is it? I've never shot a show there,
It's massive.
but I saw Pierce the Veil and Sleeping with Sirens there.
Oh, Pierce the Veil. I'm excited. I'm
yes.
excited to shoot them in May.
I've requested. I don't know if I'm gonna get that, but I have tickets to it.
Ugh.
One time I buy tickets.
And-
Well, I didn't buy tickets. My great friend Taya spoiled me for Christmas with tickets to Pierce the Veil. So nice.
Kellen's gonna be there. Like Sleeping with Sirens is on the tour.
Yeah.
So
Kellen
King
Quinn
for
is-
a Day in live.
Yeah. I've seen it live. Kellen Quinn is from my neck of the woods. He lives in Portland.
Ah, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Sorry, I don't know if I should say that, but
I mean,
he's in that neck of the woods, which is pretty cool. That's the cool thing as well as being West Coast is there's a lot of bands and a lot of music that comes into my area. So that's a fun part about being a concert.
That's one thing I
over
like
there.
about being here is
Yeah.
that I've seen more bands that like I've known for years since I've lived here since last June
Yeah.
than I've ever seen in my entire life.
That's a joke between my husband and I is every time he'll mention a band, I'll be like, yeah, I photographed them. Yeah, I've seen them.
You also used to have Warped Tour here. You used to have Heavy Montreal. You used to have a Rock Fest. So like you had all the
I was
good
in the
shows.
prime of the Heavy MTL, Rock Fest, Montreal Rock Fest, Warped Tour. I went to the last Warped Tour in Toronto. I would go to like 3 shows a week. And for real, this is why I'm here this week is because my niece wanted me to go to Silverstein with her. And she was like, do everything you can to be here. And I'm like, wow, I'll try. And so I flew here just to go see. I've never photographed Thursday.
That's gonna be a good one.
So that's one
Yeah.
band I have not I've photographed Silverstein multiple times in my life. I just photographed them. We saw them in Tacoma. I photographed that show. There was no photo pit. It was
Ooh.
yeah. I had a big lens though, so they played with Dayseeker.
That somebody, maybe it was you that just shot that.
was a while ago. It was like
no,
a
it was,
year or
oh no,
two
Raven
ago.
just shot.
Raven did, yeah.
Yeah, Raven just
had
shot.
good shots of Dayseeker. Really good shots. Yeah, I've seen a lot of shows. On the way here, I was literally thinking about that. I've been shooting shows since 2008.
I was in the 5th grade.
Oh, I started in high school. I started the local shows, the local bands. Like my brother was in a band.
But
And that's why Tom has asked me to do interviews. I'm like, I can't.
I'm not great at it. Like
just-
this is easier because I sort of know you at least from online.
Yeah.
And
This
we've
is the
talked.
first time we're meeting,
Yeah,
so this is kinda-
like 20 minutes before we started this is the first time we've seen each other in person.
Great.
And she's from here, but I'm not.
To be fair, I'm born and raised in Montreal, worked in Montreal, but I have lived in near Hawkesbury, Ontario. from 11 to 2018. So until I moved to the States. So
okay.
that is born and raised Montreal. Went to school in Montreal. Worked in Montreal, but I lived on the border of Saint Eugene and Rigaud, and so so I technically my parents live in Ontario, still do. All brothers in Ottawa, sisters in Saint-Anne-des-Plaines. So we're all over the place, but it's so much easier to say I'm from Montreal than saying I'm from Hawkesbury, Ontario, where no one knows where that is except for the true OGs. But
I don't know.
Did I lose track of what we were talking about again?
That's okay. That's okay.
I don't even know what we were talking about before we cut.
Did we pass Silverstein?
We said Silverstein. We said
Talked
shows.
about it. Shows.
Mia, do you remember where we were?
You stopped at Silverstein.
Okay, we did.
We need an assistant.
Thursday.
You know how you have the person like behind the camera?
Yeah.
Like,
I have a guy that I've been meaning to come do this with, but I feel bad not paying people. So.
We don't get paid, so what did it...
Yeah, I know. It's
I mean,
technically, the past couple episodes, we've made about 20 cents per episode.
Oh, hell yeah.
But
that works. Maybe we'll make more with this. I don't know. I never show my face, so...
That's true. You do Instagram takeovers on Hidden Beats sometimes.
Like, I did it twice. I tried to do it for when we were young.
Oh, true.
There was no service there. None. Like, zero. I couldn't even find my friends. I found a friend from Hawkesbury. I saw 5 people from Canada, from Montreal, Canada. But I couldn't find my own friends that I went there with. And we had a meeting point, but there was no service at all. That festival, I have my opinions about it. It's special. I'm never going again, but...
Tell us your opinions.
Oh, I miss Warped Tour. That's it.
It's coming back.
Yeah, but not really. Like, have you ever been to Warped Tour?
Oh. God. I'm from East Coast Canada. I'm from the tropical island of Newfoundland.
Warped Tour was so sick. It was so fun. I was very lucky to have worked Warped Tour as well. There was a store in Montreal called Detox, which is the Quebec version of Hot Topic.
Ooh.
I worked there, and I worked in their head office as their photographer, and I got to go work doing the tent and the merch at Warped Tour.
Sick.
And to be a photographer for their website and to do concert stuff there. And I remember one year we had The Ghost Inside, The Main, and other bands like doing signings at our store. When I worked at Detox in Ottawa, we had Pierce the Veil come do a signing at their store. At our store, I got to go pick up Pierce the Veil in a van, and Pierce the Veil is one of my favorite bands, and literally I dropped them off and I was crying because I got to be in a van with Vic.
Were they nice?
So the nicest dudes.
Thought so, yeah.
Ever. Like, they're in the back calling their mom, being like, "Yeah, we just got to the venue." Blah, blah, blah. Like, nicest dudes ever. Ghost Inside, nicest dudes ever.
They're the one that they got in the bus accident a few years ago.
Yes. My husband, Great American Ghost, went on tour with them last year.
Oh, sick.
Yeah. So they played in Montreal not too long ago. But Warped Tour was crazy. There was nothing like it. And then Montebello Rock Fest was kind of like the same vibe.
I've had tickets and I didn't
Montebello
go.
Rock Fest?
And
Yeah.
Heavy Montreal the same. I've had tickets to both.
Yeah.
And something came up and I never ended up going.
Yeah, Heavy MTL was fun as well. Summer Slaughter. Montebello Rock Fest was a vibe. Really, really cool. Poor Town, though, got ripped to shreds every year. I got to work that as well. My best memories come from Warped Tour and Montebello Rock Fest. So those. I have shot so many shows. I've done so many cool things. Have I been paid for most of those things? No. But would I change it? No. I have met my husband because of it. I live in the States because of it.
That's not a bragging right.
No bragging rights. No pun intended. Better pay me for that. Kidding. I'm super lucky. And I get to go to shows with my niece all the time. My best friend, Yasmin. That was our thing. We would go to shows. She would tag along all the time. She would always be my plus one. I would, when it was easier to get photo passes, and we're going to talk about the Live Nation thing.
Oh, yeah.
When it was easier to get photo pass, not easier. It wasn't such a big thing. When I started photography, I had to sneak my camera in. I always got like stopped at MTEDIS for trying to sneak my camera in. I built my concert photography portfolio by sneaking my camera in. Like in my portfolio, there's We Came as Romans in there, local bands, Indast. If anybody is from Montreal and knows Big James and knows the band Indast, Google it.
Okay.
Great band from Montreal. I built my portfolio and just like went from there. And I remember in school, they're like, you can't do concert photography because it's not a real profession. Because it wasn't a thing yet. Instagram didn't exist.
Yeah, true.
And so...
I mean, I want to know the percentage of concert photographers that get paid for doing concert photography.
When I was doing my research in school, there was only Tim Snow at the time.
He's still around.
Yes.
Yeah.
I remember going to photograph Paramore at the Bell Center. And I was photographing beside him. And I was like, oh my God, it's Tim Snow. And then Susan Moss.
I love Susan. Yeah.
Gem.
Yeah.
Gem of Montreal. You don't know who Susan Moss is?
Look her up.
You're not a real Montreal concert photographer. JK, don't. And two, look her up. Incredible work. And then Adam Elmakias.
I don't think I know Adam.
Okay.
I may have met him, but like...
Adam Elmakias is not from here, but
Okay.
he is the concert photographer. When I started, he was touring with A Day to Remember and Pierce the Veil.
Shit, okay.
He was the concert photographer. And then I was shooting when Ashley Osborne was just starting. You know, she was touring like small venues, and I remember meeting her in Montreal. She was going up the stairs, and I stopped her, and she was like nothing big. And I was like, you're a huge inspiration to be a female on tour with bands. And then she ended up touring with Pierce the Veil and works with Paris Hilton right now and is in LA, and she's crazy. So Ashley Osborne is someone to check. Adam Elmakias. Susan Moss. Check Susan Moss. Susan Moss.
Yeah.
So sick. Live Nation. That whole situation.
So,
unless you have something else to talk
No.
about.
So we, in our Hidden Beach chat recently, somebody posted in a like gig photography group that Live Nation denied them a photo pass in Australia and New Zealand for a Denzel Curry show, I think, because they're changing their policy and are only bringing in one photographer on the first date of the tour, I think it said, and
they're hiring them, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
I believe they're hiring them, and then they're gonna send those photos throughout medias, and then you can still get like a reviewer ticket.
I have my opinions.
Yeah, tell us.
Okay, I've been doing this for a while, and in the beginning, we weren't a lot. And it wasn't easy to get a media pass. Like, you had to do the work. You had to do the effing work. You had to know people. You had to make your contacts. Now, it's so easy. We have a group, like the concert media pass Facebook group, whatever, and someone's like, I'm looking for the contact for this person. Bing, bang, boom. You write an email. You could say you work for someone. You get a photo pass. So easy. So easy. But that makes it hard for the people who actually do this for a living, who do get paid.
Yeah.
Makes it hard for tour photographers. Makes it hard just in general to control what's going on, I feel like. And it also gives access to anybody and everybody to get into a concert. Now I'm thinking this is my I live in the US vibe. Just anybody able to get a photo pass just allows maybe a non-photographer to just get into.
They just want to see the band, and they own a Canon T1.
Not only that, my mind is going into like something bad could happen kind of thing. You're not, just.
Yeah, that's also fair. That's also fair.
I've been in the U.S. for 6 years, so that's where I'm going. I've been feeling this for a couple of years and I've told my husband this as well, where I'm just like, I don't want to shoot shows anymore because it's just so, there's no fun in it of like trying to get the thrill of trying to get a photo pass and like you wait for that email of like, I got the photo pass. Like the feeling I got when My Chemical Romance's team messaged me being like, yeah, we accept you. And I was like, I'm crying because it was something that's crazy, so important to me. But I could this Silverstein show tomorrow. I could have the contact and just and just get a photo pass. So I think these companies have to have regulations and have to have control somehow, in order to just minimize how many concert photographers are allowed on these tours. I remember when I started with Hidden Beats, it was one photographer per tour. So let's say I shot Silverstein tomorrow. Yeah. No one else on Hidden Beats can shoot Silverstein for the rest of the tour. And sometimes it's like that. Like there was A Day to Remember. A Day to Remember was one of the tours last year. Mm-hmm. I sent out a photo request for it, and they're like, "Oh, someone from Hidden Beats already shot this tour, so you can't shoot this tour."
That sucks.
So that does happen, and that's how it was with me when I started. Was I used to shoot for Amity Collection in Seattle, and we have a sheet. It's like who's shooting what, and it's one person per the tour.
That's crazy.
And that's what I've always done. And so being in Hidden Beats, I feel like that is one of the challenges as well, as we're so many.
Yeah.
And I think that's fair. I think that tours are going to start being like this again, or some are, but
that's why I like that I'm the only shooter for Hidden Beats in Montreal.
Yeah.
And I rarely get denied.
Yeah.
Unless like the actual artist isn't taking any media or something like that.
Poppy. But I feel like our team there's one photographer per like state or province.
Yeah.
Because I'm the only one in Seattle.
And then there's one I think we have 3 in California.
Okay. Yeah.
For the other states, I think so. I think there's one in New Jersey and one in New York City.
It'd be funny if we have like a screenshot of like all our photographers and all of the like.
You're really making this editing hard for me.
Challenge, bitch. Let's go. Yeah, I think it's just trying to regulate things. I've been feeling it for a while, so when someone put that in our like group chat, I was like, it's about time. But then there's gonna be some people who are like, this is stupid because it's gonna make things challenging. Yeah. But I sound old. That's what it was before. It literally was that. Mm-hmm. It was. I remember when I was sneaking my camera in. The security guard, he's no longer the security guard at M. anymore. He retired. Abdul. He told me one day when I was sneaking my camera in, he's like, one day you're going to get a photo pass the right way. he's like, you're gonna be a known photographer and you're going to get the photo pass. And I remember when I got my first photo pass for M. he just wasn't there. But I was so excited. Or when my husband played M. last year, when Great American Ghost played. I was so excited to run into Abdul and to be like, I'm here! And they're like, he retired. I was like, damn it. But, yeah.
Do you have him on, like, socials or anything like that? Okay, that's good.
Yeah. So, I don't know why I didn't see he retired, but anyways.
I think the head security guard I think he's the head at MTELUS and Beanfield now. Can't remember his actual name, but I know he's a professional wrestler.
Oh, yeah!
Because I took pictures of him at
He's
the IWS
great,
not long
though.
ago.
Oh, he's going far with his wrestling, though.
Yeah, he's doing really good.
He is. He worked with Abdul a lot too, and the whole team there is so great. They're so awesome.
They've been really nice, especially to the photographers. Like the security team are like very accommodating. I've started to talk to them now and stuff, which is nice.
Except for one show.
Oh.
This is one of my core memories. Straight from the Path and Architects played at. It was probably MTLS. Could have been Club Soda. But wasn't the regular security staff. But they just kept letting people fall. And
Like at the front?
Mm-hmm. Stray stopped the show. Stray never stops a show. And Sam from Architects went in the pit and was like catching people. And then fans, Jason, who runs the Emo Nights.
Greenberg.
Yes!
Yes, I know Jason.
My guy.
yeah.
Who really wants us to go to Emo Night tonight. By the way.
It's goth versus emo, I think, tonight. My girlfriend is good friends with Jason because she used to work for Bucket List.
Oh,
yeah.
I'm off track, but he was catching people as well. But that was, I remember that show. Was photographing it, and Stray is one of my favorite bands as well. And they literally stopped the show and it was like, what the fuck is going? Can I swear on this? I don't know.
Yeah. Go ahead.
What the f is going on here? And that's a core memory. That was a fun time. Not a fun time because people were falling, but it was a fun time because it was a good show. Architects and Stray. That was a good one.
I think I saw Architects in like 2013 or 2014 in Halifax. Mm-hmm. But I think they went on tour with Structures. Do you remember Structures? Mm-hmm. Are they still a band?
Are they going on tour?
They really may be. I'm not sure.
Can I do this? Do we have time?
Yeah, that's fine.
Structure.
We need to make this over 1 hour. So we're getting close. So that's good. Yeah.
Structures. Oh, I have no service because I have an American phone.
The Wi-Fi is Satan's mommy, and the password is Spookoland.
Should we be saying you can't say that on here? As people are gonna steal your shit.
I mean, the people in my building. I'm moving.
Security.
I'm moving in 2 weeks.
But Satan's mommy, I love 666. I love that.
And then Spookoland, all one word.
Oh, I love this.
She's really
Security.
slow. It'll take a while.
Mia. Satan's mommy. I love this. Okay, structures. Structure.
I had a Structure hoodie that my buddy gave me when I lived in Montreal when I was like 18, and he gave me a Structures hoodie, and then I left it at my dad's house in Newfoundland once, and now my dad still wears a Structures hoodie around his house.
Why do I feel like my husband maybe had a mini tour with them? There's so many bands.
They're from the States, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are they not from... I don't know. Let's okay. Well, I feel like I'm old, like doing this one-handed. Okay.
So, what is the best show that you've shot?
Oh, we were talking about this on the way here because I was like, oh, that's a given. My Chemical Romance show.
That was like recently, right?
That was in 2 or 3 years ago. 2 or 3 years ago. But then I have different shows for different like eras in my life. I guess the My Chemical Romance one is important to me for so many reasons. Like it's tattooed on my arm. I have the Black Parade. Little
sick.
Guy here. I have lyrics. My best friend from high school to 2012. She passed away in 2012, but her favorite band was My Chemical Romance. Our band together was My Chemical Romance. When she passed away, I kept getting signs from her through My Chemical Romance. Like all these like weird spooky stuff.
Yeah.
Like weird stuff, like long story short. My Chemical Romance tickets for their show went on sale on the anniversary date of my best friend's passing. Like
wow.
Creepy stuff. And I was like, you know what? And I think that was the show that got me with Hidden Beats. I was like, I need to request this show with someone. And I think that's when Ryan like introduced me to Tom, and I did it. I wrote an email. I personally wanted to do the email. I didn't want to go through Tom. Love you, Tom. But because it was so sentimental to me, I needed to write the email.
Yeah.
I remember where I was. I was listening to My Chemical Romance, cleaning my kitchen, and I got an email that said that I was approved. And I cried my brains out.
Oh
and
my
when
God.
I photographed that show, every other photographer had a photo pass, but I had a photo pass and a ticket for some reason. I was the only one that had like.
Did you request it though?
I said media request, and then they gave me a ticket as well. And so
I usually get a ticket, but it's because I say like I write the reviews, so like
Yeah.
I think like Talia's in with Hidden Beats, so like
Yeah.
she
do the
sometimes
review.
comes and writes it.
I already
for me,
had
but-
tickets. I spent like the most money I
Mm-hmm.
spent on tickets for My Chemical Romance. Well, now for the My Chemical Romance concert in July. That was the most I've ever spent on tickets.
Oh no!
So I will always buy their tickets, but so now I had an extra ticket. I was in that photo pit. I was in front of Gerard. In front of Frank Yarrow is my all-time favorite guitar player person besides Dallas Green. And I was just crying. Like, I think at one point Mikey Way was looking at me like, the F is going on? Why is this person crying in the pit? But it was my concert that gave me closure as well. And so that will forever be my best memory and feeling for shooting a show.
Yeah.
My whole like concert career, I think I said like, if I don't shoot another show after this, I'm fine. Like I've been shooting shows for this moment. But then the first time I shot at the Bell Center, I shot Paramore.
That's sick.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Aaron Gillespie from Under Oath was drumming for Hayley Williams.
That's sick.
So that was sick. What was another show I said? Freaking Warped Tour, best memories.
Yeah.
Rockfest, best memories. But then, what was the other one I said? City and Color in 2021. Nope, 2022. Sometime the last few years. With COVID, I'm so...
Yeah,
I don't
it's
know
just-
where my years are.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, it's like right on my pin photos, like right on my Instagram. This one. 2023. I photographed City and Color. And that's my other favorite band and all-time favorite. And someone got me into that show. That's another moment I cried. I'm very sensitive. And cried shooting that show. And then another important show to me is when the Great American Ghost played at MTELUS. For me, was a full circle.
Yeah,
and so
that's fair.
watching my husband play a show that was, I think, sold out, and watching the floor and the balcony be so full, watching my husband on stage was a gorgeous moment for me, because I met him shooting shows, and I met him at Piranha Bar in Montreal. So I met my husband in Montreal, and I flew to Toronto and Montreal to see those shows, and that was a favorite memory or a favorite show to shoot. My photos were terrible, but the moment, and having all my friends around me, my family, Mia was on the balcony beside Dave Boucher, and it was just like, Dave Boucher is the man. Love him, and owe him a lot. I owe Extensive a lot, but
I love Extensive.
I love Extensive.
They're very, very accommodating.
Very, when I was shooting in Montreal, I shot for some shows with Extensive. That's how I met Serge, and met Dave. But there's different shows for different moments of my life. But those My Chemical Romance, City and Color, Great American Ghost in Montreal, Warped Tour is forever emo. I'm an elder emo kid, so that's...
I feel that.
Yeah, that's
I'm
nice.
very much elder emo. I made so many 27 Club jokes to my girlfriend the entire last year.
I'm not gonna do that, but yeah, it's I wish people get, like, I know Warped Tour is coming back, but it's not the same. It's just not the same.
Yeah,
So-
it's I think only 3 or 4 dates, like Florida, Atlantic City, and California.
Something like that.
Yeah.
I'm not going. So unless someone says like, Allie, you're shooting, I'll go, but I'm not going.
I understand that they're not gonna do like a full tour like they used to, but like at least have some more dates. At least have one Canadian date.
I know. It
Like-
has to be Toronto. The Canadian date was Toronto. I remember going to the Toronto one. It was great. They should do that one again. But again, you don't. I don't know if they're doing this to test out the waters, because When We Were Young is right after that.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, your
That's
guitar. I
true.
don't want to break it, but
It's okay. It's my girlfriend's.
oh, I don't want to break her guitar either. She's important too.
Yeah, that's true.
She is. Okay.
I kicked her out of the house for this, by the way.
Oh, she should have stayed. That was so funny. We're walking over, like, who's that cute girl? That's her. She cute.
She's going to get tattoo supplies so I can get more tattoos.
Wait, tattoos? Wait, you told me this.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
your tattoo table right there.
Yeah, you can just get tattooed while we do
Yeah.
this.
She, I got her a tattoo gun the Christmas before last, and now she has clients. Like she actually has paid clients
Plug
and stuff.
here.
Yeah.
Her
She did-
Instagram. Her.
She did the nails on my leg.
Oh, cute.
And
You're gonna drop your mic.
it's okay. And I have a non-alcoholic beer tattooed on my leg because I'm
nice.
sober.
You know what? That'd be really funny if someone comes for a podcast. You get a tattoo afterwards.
Or during.
Or during.
Yeah,
that could
yeah,
be,
yeah.
like kind of like hot ones.
Yeah.
But instead of having like chicken wings, which
Be very emo.
very emo, get
That's
tattooed.
true. That's very
right?
true.
Yeah.
And like the space we're moving to now, where like you see how small my apartment studio is, but the place we're getting is $80 more, and we have a whole other room, and it's
Hell
like
yeah.
2.5 times the size of this place,
I love that.
and it's in Hochelag. Yeah, and it's nice. It's like right next to the Joliet Metro, so
Yeah.
it's like super. Like my only stipulation about living in Montreal is that I want to be near a metro, because I don't want to deal with the bus system, especially in Laval.
Well, I told you, I was like, I don't do public transportation anymore because I live down to Cary,
What part of Carry? Like, was it like
And Snowden?
Saint Laurent or?
Snowden.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it's
Okay.
right. I found out years later that the cat killer, the cat murderer, found
Yeah,
out
yeah,
on Netflix
he lived
that he
right
lived
there.
right there.
Like, you literally saw your apartment in the documentary.
That's
The sushi
crazy.
place or the dépanneur
Yeah.
that was beside your
Because
place?
I went to Dawson College. I graduated Dawson 2010, 2012. So someone I work with was like, Allie, didn't you live in Montreal? And I was like, yeah. Like, didn't you live on DeCarry? I'm like, yeah. They're like, you should watch this documentary. Traumatized me. It was like he was 2 roads down. So, anyways, off topic again. But I live by a metro, and I use the metro all the time. And it was sketchy. Saint Michel, sketchy.
Yeah.
And so that's why I drive. That's why I don't drink a lot. I like to drive everywhere.
Yeah,
'cause
that's fair.
Public transportation scares the living shit out of me. But it is way better than, like, I will take public transportation in Montreal over walking alone in America anytime.
Montreal is actually like one of the safest cities in like North America. For
Really?
like for like walking around and stuff, like, and I feel that like walking around Halifax or even St. John's, I don't feel safe, but walking around Montreal at night, I don't really have any worries.
Come to
Like-
Tacoma for one day and then you'll
Yeah,
be like, oh, this sucks.
I've experienced Vancouver, and they're like,
I felt better in
Area.
Vancouver than where I can't even go to a gas station by myself and not
That's-
be harassed. Like, I love having
America.
America.
Yeah.
I love having my husband with me because he's 6'4". He looks scary. Yeah, it's nice to have him around.
That's
so.
fair.
Yeah, it's just, yeah.
So we're out of time.
Already?
Yeah, it's been 1 hour.
Damn.
Tom won't kill us
No.
for not filling an hour, because I think we don't make money unless it's an hour or something like that.
Is it? Oh.
Yeah.
My only plug was, like, go listen to Great American Ghost's new album that came out on January 31st.
I'll put it up on the screen right here.
Just go. Please.
Yeah.
Go support my husband. Please.
We won't get copyright bans because this is his wife, so we can play it on YouTube.
Can you?
I don't know. Just confirm that for me.
I mean.
Just say yes.
Yes?
Yeah,
I
there we
guess.
go.
I'm like, the tragedy of the commons, like, get it?
But either way, We'll put something up, and well.
That should be like the music in the background or something.
I'll throw up little icons of every band that you've mentioned that you said look up during this interview.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good. Well, that was fun.
Yeah, that was great. Thanks for watching, guys.
Thanks, Mia.
Thanks, Mia.